I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV, episode number 191. We are from the store Alter Ego Comics, located in Lima, Ohio, and we're back, as we are most weeks, to talk to you about the best comics of the week. And this week, the top of my list is Thor, issue number 4. Get it at the store. Don't drop it on the floor. I'm going to talk about it some more. It's written by Jason Aaron, artwork by Russell Dauterman. And this series has just been awesome from out of the gate. We've got a new female Thor. We still don't know who she is. There's some hints are dropped, some people are taken out of the equation as for who could possibly be the new Thor. And we've got a knockdown, drag-out battle between Thor Odinson and the new female Thor, while they're also dealing with Malekith and the Frost Giants and that crazy guy from Roxxon who turns into a Minotaur, and all kinds of crazy action going on here. Dauterman's artwork is excellent. Jason Aaron has been the best thing to happen to Thor since Walt Simonson, in my opinion. I mean, I'll go out there on that limb and say that Jason Aaron's handling of the character of Thor is a game changer. From his series prior to this, where we were exploring the 3 different Thors of different ages: young Thor, old King Thor, and
Old King Wessel Sauce.
Yes. Old King Cole, Nat King Cole, no. And then Jason Aaron wrote about Nat King Cole, and it was great. And modern day, present day Thor. So that ended, this began, and it's just a continuation of awesomeness. So if you haven't checked it out, it's not too late to get onto the Thor bandwagon. And female Thor is going to be around for a while. She's a very likable character. Can't wait to see who it is. If you've got some theories, feel free to post those in the comments below, and definitely check it out. It is really awesome.
So you're just totally skipping J. Michael Straczynski there. Just pass it on.
Yeah.
You're going to receive a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Straczynski's Thor was good, but it wasn't
great.
A game changer the same way this is. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and it, not even the way the previous series was, I think. You know.
No, that's what I meant.
Aaron's
by this.
run on Thor.
Aaron's stuff, yeah.
But yes, J. Michael Straczynski's 3 trade paperback collection of Thor is very, very cool as well. And that spun out of, was it Secret Invasion? No.
No, because he was already backed by Secret Invasion. So it would have been after Civil War.
What was after Civil War?
Secret Invasion. Somewhere in between there.
Anyway, the first volume of that series has been one of our best sellers for quite a while. And prior to Jason Aaron's run on Thor, that was the volume that we would give people if they wanted to read, if they wanted to start reading Thor. So anyway, JMS, we do love you. Most importantly for Babylon 5.
Next up, one of my picks this week is Inhuman. This is issue 11, Under Attack, written by Charles Soule, art by Ryan Stegman. And Inhuman has been really good, and it's one of the underappreciated books Marvel's putting out. Partially, I think, because if you just open a random issue, you will recognize next to none of the characters. Abusing the Inhuman bomb that we saw go off, almost a year ago now.
More than that, I think. Yeah.
Making a whole new wave of new humans. Charles Soule has formed his own kind of cast. We do get to see some of the classic Inhumans like Black Bolt and Medusa and Maximus the Mad, and who's the Minotaur guy?
Gorgon?
Gorgon, that one.
I don't know. Is Karnak dead?
I don't know. Karnak died in Inhumanity #1.
Yeah.
But whether or not that's still on the table,
was
I'm
that
not
the
100%.
Johnny Carson magician guy? Karnak?
Yes, Karnak the Magnificent.
Okay.
But his handling of this new cast is amazing. I really enjoy it. We get a broad range of characters from different backgrounds. You see the way they interact with powers and having their lives changed differently. And it's just really compelling. It's also a lot of fun. You know, you've got a hard-boiled New York City detective who's now got superpowers, working almost like the police to solve mysteries inside the Inhumans. You've got Medusa was recently all whack-jawed from Axis being evil, the last 2 or 3 issues. So now she's getting the blowback from that, and probably my favorite scenes of the series so far. Medusa kind of trying to find out who she is, because she spends so much time being so self-possessed and being, regal and running the Inhumans as the queen. The idea that she has some question, the events of Axis, making her question her identity and question what she's doing is really cool and landed really well for me. So Charles Soule's knocking it out of the park on Inhumans.
Inhuman.
Inhuman, sorry.
No S. No plural.
No S's. There are multiple Inhumans in it, though.
and we're going to be hearing about the Inhumans, presumably, when S.H.I.E.L.D. returns to ABC in March, and with the Inhumans movie coming out before 2020. I don't remember when it is. New this week from Image Comics is The Dying and the Dead, written by Jonathan Hickman, artwork by Ryan Bodenheim. This is 60 pages. It's a 60-page first issue. And I really liked it. It was being billed as kind of Indiana Jones meets the retirement home. I don't know if that's really
well, we don't
accurate.
Know from the first issue.
I don't know from the first. I guess I expected a little more humor, and it's not a humorous book at all. There's no humor, really.
There's some ironic detachment humor there.
Maybe. But the thing that worked for me, number one, Bodenheim's artwork is awesome. And if you're a fan of Hickman's previous books like East of West or the Manhattan Projects, primarily something like East of West, and the stuff that he did for Image prior to becoming a household name within the comics community, then you're going to like this. The dialogue is great, the characters are intriguing, the main character is very much a Clint Eastwood type guy, a retired military guy whose wife is dying of cancer, and he's offered a chance to save her by working with some folks that we don't really know who they are, what they are, but they've been around on Earth for quite a long time, but in hiding. So it's definitely worth checking out. It's a really solid new first issue from Image and Jonathan Hickman, and again, it's 60 pages. It is the thickest comic to come out this week. And I liked it. Yeah,
and it's set in, I don't know if you said this or not, it's set in the 60s
era. I thought it was set in present day.
No, look at the cars. That can't be the present day.
Yeah, I thought that as...
It flashes back in time.
But look at the weapons, though. They're carrying Uzis and wearing, like, modern day tactical gear. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know when this.
Well, he talks about serving in World War II.
It says in the
20 years
here.
ago.
No, we got it. 1969. On the
right.
beginning.
Okay.
There's a date.
Because he says like 20 years ago, which would put it in the late 40s,
right,
the end of the war.
So he's a World War II vet.
After the war. But yeah, no, it was very good, and I think especially if you like stuff like Starlight, this is not as adventure-y as Starlight, although I think it's going to get more adventure-y. But it definitely has that same kind of heart that Starlight did, the dying wife and the formerly strong kind of leading man guy who's now in the twilight of his years. The Greatest Generation has one more adventure, and it is the dying of the dead.
It is Indiana Jones. Returnable at the shop. If you don't like it, bring it back within a week, and we'll give you store credit for your trouble and for your copy as long as it's in saleable condition. So take a chance. Give it a read.
What kind of chance? It's $4.50. And you read 22 pages, which is what a regular comic is. You're not even halfway done. There's no...
Just almost three times
almost
the
three whole comics.
There are no ads. I neglected to mention that. There are no ads in this comic either.
Yes. Next up is actually, we'll stick with this. The good people at Dynamite have brought back the King Features Heroes. And the one we're talking about this week...
Because no one demanded it. Sorry.
Someday, someone is always going to want to talk about the Billy Zane Phantom movie.
Oh, God. Who would want to? I saw it. I don't want to.
We got Phantom #1, guest starring Mandrake the Magician.
Mandrake.
Yes. This is written by Brian Clevenger, who you may remember as one of the creators of Atomic Robo, and may be the only reason I read this issue, because I like his work. With art by Brett Schoonover. And I will admit to having only a tangential knowledge of the Phantom going in, but I really enjoyed this issue.
He's the ghost who walks.
He is the ghost who walks. He has a white horse, 2 guns, a skull ring. But the Phantom has been active for generations. There's been 20 or 30 Phantoms. I believe it goes down a family line. But what we're picking up the story here is there's a break. The last Phantom has died. The next Phantom has not been found. So one of his associates or someone is stepping in to be the Phantom while the new Phantom is found, which I really liked. It had a more fresh feel, and it's interesting. This is our future, but something bad has happened, and technology is kicked back like 100 years. So like radios are a hip new thing that they can just barely get to work, which has a neat feel to it. It's sort of semi-post-apocalyptic, but not the full-on, Mad Max apocalyptic, and it was very fun. For a book that I had no interest in as far as the character goes and the character histories, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun adventure-y romp. I had good dialogue and humor, which Clevenger is known for, and it was a surprise hit for me this week.
And that is what we do here, folks. We read stuff, even if we don't want to, just so that we can recommend the best comics to you. Well done. Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantom.
He was.
Alrighty, my third recommendation this week is a trade paperback. It is Outcast. You know what? I have to say this correctly or someone's going to sue me. This is Outcast by Kirkman and Azaceta, Volume 1. Because apparently there's something else called Outcast that exists.
Other than the musician with the K.
You obviously use that term loosely. The musician with a K. Anyway, so Outcast is co-created, written, dreamt up by Robert Kirkman, the mastermind behind The Walking Dead. So there you have it. Buy it. Check it out. It is the story of a boy that grows up to be a man who may have demons seeking to ruin his life. When he was a child, his mother was possessed by a demon and made his life miserable. As an adult, possibly the same demon possessed his daughter, and the guy was abusive towards the daughter because of the demon, but he's the only one who knew that, so she got taken away and his life is in shambles, and a priest, a reverend, a minister, whoever, they go into a bar. A man of God goes and recruits him, someone who has past experience with him because of these previous demonic possession instances, to help him because there are more and more demonic situations popping up. So that's the premise. It's a very much like The Walking Dead to some degree, is that yes, there's a supernatural element to this, but it's very real world. It's told at street level. It's not, there are no superheroes, there's nothing, there are no zombies, which makes it different from Walking Dead. Also, this has been put into production over at Cinemax, so there will be boobs and who knows what else, but this will be on Cinemax. It's in production now, so presumably we're going to see Outcast on Cinemax as long as they, I don't remember whether they approved a 6-episode commitment or something, but they've cast people, they're filming stuff, and now is the time to get in on the ground floor of Robert Kirkman's next big thing, Outcast, and the first collected edition is available, and look at that! 6 issues for $9.99. This actually brings you completely up to speed. There are only 6 issues so far, so then you can jump right in with issue number 7 when that comes out very soon.
All right. And we are now down to my pick of the week. Uncanny X-Men number 30, written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Chris Bacalo, and someone named Townsend.
Timothy Townsend.
He's a cover artist.
Tim Townsend, he is, yes. Pete Townsend.
From The Who.
Plays the guitar.
Yes. He's a Teenage Wasteland. This is continuing the ongoing story. So, it seems forever ago
is that
we
Dazzler?
started. Yeah. Wait, which one? Yes, that's Dazzler. Shh. You haven't been. Oh, it's okay.
I haven't been reading it, so I like to interrupt Josh when he's talking.
Dazzler is all jacked up now, but that's not what we're talking about. Mystique kidnapped her and used her to synthesize human growth or mutant growth hormone, and had her kept in a hospital bed and was basically using her like a lab rat, so she could sell it on the streets. And so she's kind of angry about that.
She has a history with Mystique.
Yeah,
going back 30 years, so.
Which is about as far, which is not too much less than Dazzler goes back. So. But this issue that we're talking about today is still part of I believe this is the penultimate chapter of the will, or the last will and testament of Charles Xavier, where the X-Men of both sides of the schism get together and listen to She-Hulk read Xavier's will, which led us on a merry adventure with an Omega-level mutant who's got secret powers, and a showdown between S.H.I.E.L.D.'s helicarriers and the mutant populace, and it's really, really fun. Bendis is doing a great job of using completely new characters or new versions of existing characters and making it feel like classic X-Men. His dialogue is great, and I really love the way, basically in this book, everyone in the book is a good guy. The New Mutants is not we don't know a lot about him, but he doesn't appear to be evil. He's not trying to hurt people. He just has immense power and has the potential to hurt people. S.H.I.E.L.D. is just trying to protect the universe. The real X-Men at the school are just trying to be the X-Men, who are the real good guys, I guess. And Scott and his terrorist X-Men really aren't bad. They just all disagree. So you've got 4 different sides going on here. Everyone going at each other. Massive levels of damage potential and massive damage happening. And there's no real clear-cut bad guy. It's everyone's a loser, and they're not losers. They're people who've lost stuff. But it was just very fun and super exciting. And if you're a fan of all the ridiculous time travel-y stuff going on in the Marvel Universe, Evil Belle does pop back into this one after showing up most recently, I believe, in the Uncanny Annual and the all-new Annual. And she brings with her someone from the past, because that's what you do when you're an X-Man. There has to be time travel or you don't get a book.
Ah, yes.
So yes, Uncanny was awesome, and there were so many awesome books this week. We don't have time to tell you about all of them. We're going to give you a couple quick hits. If you're a fan of Matt Fraction, best known for his work on Hawkeye and Sex Criminals, before either of those books, he was known reasonably well for Casanova and Iron Man and Thor and some other stuff. But Casanova is one of his creator-owned books from back in the day. It is now back at Image after a brief stint at Marvel, or Marvel's imprint?
Marvel's Icon Imprint.
Icon Imprint.
Yes.
So it's out today, and one of the cool things about this particular issue is it falls in a place in the character's life where you don't necessarily need a lot of backstory to appreciate it. So you can just pick it up blind based on your faith in Matt Fraction. But it's also got a backup story written by Michael Chabon, known for The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, and Wonder Boys? Was that
Wonder
Chabon?
Boys, yes, that was him.
The Michael Douglas,
Tobey Maguire.
Spider-Man, Hank Pym, and Iron Man in a movie together about geniuses and writers. But that's neither here nor there.
Josh will give his review of Wonder Boys.
No one liked it but me, but that's
after
fine.
After the credits.
But art in that issue is also by Gabriel Ba and
Fabio Moon.
Fabio Moon. It's separately.
Yes, Fabio.
Moon does the Fraction, and Ba does the backup with Chabon.
Ba.
And the other thing you need to know about this week, if you were enjoying Marvel's Axis, Avengers and X-Men, with people inverted and craziness and Carnage getting a statue in Times Square, you may want to check out Rick Remender's Uncanny Avengers #1. This is got art by Daniel Acuna, and this basically picks up from the end of that. You've got Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver dealing with the fact that they are not Magneto's children, as was revealed in the series. You've got an inverted Sabretooth, who's been given a short leash by the Avengers to help them out. You've got a Unity Squad that's been borderline destroyed and trying to reform. So a lot of stuff going on in the Marvel Universe is happening here in Uncanny Avengers, and if you care about that sort of thing, you should check it out.
And if you are the one person who is looking for a series with Dr. Voodoo, this is the book for you. And that is all.
That is all.
All right, so that's this week. Lots of cool stuff. Next week, huge Star Wars #2 comes out. So
excellent.
Hopefully everyone will rush out to their local stores and pick up the continuing saga of Star Wars. Oh, Saga also comes out next week, too.
Oh, it's a good
Saga's
week.
back from hiatus. And just all kinds of crazy stuff next week. So thank you for watching. Leave your comments below, and we will see you next time. Alter Ego Comics TV, episode 191.
Step into a Slim Jim!
Yeah!